What is up, everybody? Again. What is up, everybody? Again. Technical difficulty, so we just had to run it back a little bit. That's all. That's all. We just had to run it back a little bit, and we are back. Technical people, hopefully, y'all can hear me. But like I said, we're tonight we are interviewing a young lady who I met on TikTok, and she caught my eye because she was singing what people commented. So I'm going to introduce her and we're going to bring her on in here now. So I don't want to butcher your
Hello.
name.
No,
So just
listen.
introduce
No,
yourself.
I get that. I get that. My name is Hashigata. Hashigata. Yes.
Okay. Hashigata. All right.
Yes.
All right. Got it. Got it. So welcome to No Cap the Podcast. I'm Tay. So just introduce yourself a little bit and what do you do?
So my name is Hashigata. I hail from Brooklyn, New York City girl. I am a singer-songwriter, but I'm also a creative in many other facets as well. I paint as well, but the one that I put on display the most than I do at more as community unity is singing and songwriting. Um, yeah, pretty much. I consider myself to be a healer. I think overall, I think that's why I love to be creative because I like to heal and to help people find a center. So that's what I consider myself to be.
Okay. So what inspired you to pursue music? Like how did that start and come about?
Well, I love singing and I love music. Like for me, music is one of the most important forms of art. Literally, gonna sound real dramatic in the world. It really is. The way a sound can affect you, that it can give you goosebumps. It can remind you of things. It can make you cry. Um, so I always loved singing and I always loved music, and it was one of the most important things. I remember being able to listen to music and be able to go to different worlds. I mean, as a kid, you know what I mean? So, but I did not always want to be a singer. I knew I could sing, but I didn't really care to like pursue it. I just liked enjoying it within myself. When I finally decided that I wanted to do something more and reach out to people with my voice was in 2018. And it was actually because of a person. A person put me on to making music and the idea that I could do so and that I'm also like that I can sing. Um, I don't even know how to explain it. Like I was able to sing, but I didn't know what my abilities or like how good I was at it at the time and how to really pursue it. And I met somebody called named Gio Nalati, who's on all streaming platforms. He's a producer, and he basically got in my head and he was like, "You're really good at this. I'm gonna teach you everything I know." And because of him, I started making music. Hmm.
Okay. Well, you kind of answered my my next question, which is who was your biggest musical influence? So,
Well, he's my music influence the when it comes to the creation process, because I didn't know what it is to go into a studio. I didn't know what it was to build a song, layer music, layer harmonies. Like I knew I loved
mhm,
music, but I didn't know how to create it. He's the one who taught me how to create music. Um my inspiration, honestly, my father. My father listened to everything from like Led Zeppelin to Nina Simone. I mean, everything. And he would put me onto music, and he he gave me artists to be inspired by, like Aretha Franklin, Shaka Khan. He saw that I had a gift, so he was like, sing this next, and we'd spend like he'd have a couple beers, and we're chilling in the living room, and we'd be up all night, and he'd be putting on, listen to this one, all right, listen to this one, all right, listen to this one, and he just put me on to all these artists that I love now, and it's because of my father. He taught me how to be eclectic in music.
okay, okay. And being eclectic is very important because me, myself, I listen to everything from Paramore to Aretha Franklin. So
Right,
like
right.
I
Me
listen,
too.
yeah, I listen to a lot of different music. But when it came to your TikTok, like how how did you come about singing what people commented?
So, all right, I knew I wanted to go on live. I knew I wanted to grow my TikTok. I knew that was like the goal. But to be honest with you, I didn't have a way. And I saw that other people, singers on TikTok, were doing covers, but I didn't want to do covers. I don't like doing covers. I like jamming to other people's music, but I don't want it that my career to be based off doing other people's music. I just didn't want that. For me, it's a block for my own art growth as an artist, for me at least. So I was like, I had to find another way. So when I started actually on TikTok, I started singing people's names. Like whoever jumped in, I would sing their name. But then it grew into singing their comments. And even then it grew into, hey, let's make this spiritual and emotional. Let's sing these deep dark things that you want to let out of your from your mind and however you feel. It grew, honestly. I was looking for my path. I was like, I don't want to do this, but I don't really know what to do. And it just kind of happened over time of just going on live and finding what my niche was.
Okay, okay. And as I've seen, a lot of people have commented, and one thing I noticed that you do is like you actually try to catch every single person's comment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It gets hard sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, but I do.
yeah. It's like I was like, wow, like she's really reading every single comment that's there. So
I don't want
it's
anybody to
pretty
feel
cool.
left out. You know what I mean? Like I want everybody to get into it. And what I've been doing, well, not recently, about a month or two ago, I figured out how to string comments together. Like
Mm,
if this person said something like this, I would make up a sentence that will bring those two things together. So it would all make sense. And then I turned it into let's make music together. But and honestly, doing that just took practice. I've never freestyled before. I was never a freestyle artist. Um, it just took practice, and I was not good at it before at all. I could not. I would have a block. I'd be like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. And eventually, through practice, I was like, how do I? So somebody would be like, my heart is falling for you. People write a lot of love stuff and a lot of like deep stuff. So I like to
mhm.
turn it into poetry. So like if somebody writes this, then and I'll read the next one. And before there's too many popping up, I have to string them together. I have to think of something that will bring them together. And I'm getting pretty good at it. I'm getting pretty but it took a lot
Okay.
of practice. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get me to try and do that because I wouldn't be able to.
It was
So,
overwhelming. It was overwhelming at first. I was like, because also I felt like, because you have a learning pattern with everything you do. You know what I mean? And
mhm,
so when I wasn't good at it, I'm not gonna lie, I did feel like subconscious, especially when I choked. I would choke sometimes here and there and make a fool of myself, but I would do it anyways.
okay, okay. And we have a comment here, and it says, "Her smile is infectious."
Thank you, G. Brian. Thank you so much.
So, like, what would be one of your favorite performances that you've done ever?
Ever? Ooh. Hmm. Okay. Let me think. My favorite performance that I've ever done. Oh my god, I gotta like really think about this. Okay, so I think I have two that I can really think about. One was in New York City, and it was before I moved. Before the last like couple 3 or 4 years, I was doing like a different genre of music. I was doing a lot more rap, a lot more kind of like dark punk EDM type stuff. It was a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, but I've changed as an artist. But at the time, I was doing some really dope shows. Like just oh man! And there was this one time, and it's not. I'm not even talking about like my voice. Sometimes when I perform, I get what I call like what some may call, what I call the Holy Spirit. And it's just like while you're performing, you're not thinking about what you do. It's like something comes over you and you just express. And there was this one time on stage, and I will never forget. I don't know how I did a flip on stage, and I don't really flip. And I was in a dress, and somehow I adjusted my legs that I did not flash anybody. And somebody called it on camera, and I can't find the video. But my favorite shows are times where like you do something that you would never think about doing. And I did a flip on stage, and it was wild, and didn't lose my breath or my timing, which was crazy. That was one of my favorite shows because it's just like it was just crazy. Another show I think that would also be my favorite was recently I did a show here in Phoenix, closer to Levine. It was one of my more intimate shows, and so it was a lot smaller crowd. I was booked actually for someone's. They throw events at their home, and um, I don't know. I think being in a small, intimate setting, I was able to really connect with people. And then there were other artists there, and there was this one point where there's this set that I do in all of my shows where before I start, I set up like this booth thing where you put on sticky notes, kind of like the comment section on TikTok, and you could write whatever you want on sticky notes, put it in a bowl. And then at the ending of my show, I put on whatever beat and I start singing the comments. And this one time, I don't know what happened. Everything was just stringing so well together out of people's sticky notes. And then there was a woman who actually she performed before me, or no, she performed after me, and her art was throwing fire and also playing with these things that throw lights. And while I was performing, she was doing it around me, and it was just wow. So it was like she was making it up, I was making it up. It was just creation happening all at once, and that was one of my favorite performances. It was just on the whim. It was wild.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I believe I have the video of that happening.
Yes,
I
yeah, that's one of
believe.
my favorites. It's
So,
a snippet of that. It was insane. It
yeah.
was so beautiful.
So, guys, here is what she is talking about right here.
Flow like water, sing like bees. Thank you guys.
And it was just so epic. And that video was actually shot by the DJ behind me, and it was just so beautiful. Nobody asked her, "Hey, come do this." She just walked up and she knew she was doing the right thing, and we was just creating together. And I was literally reading the comments, and not only that. So I started the show right when the sun was going down. So in the beginning of the show, there was light on me. At the ending of the show, I had to read these post-its, and I was in the dark. And then she came with the light. Oh man, it was just a magical experience.
It seemed like a magical experience.
It was. It
So,
was.
um, so correct me if I'm wrong. You're an independent artist?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So, um, labels, like major labels, things like that. Like, what are your opinions on that? Is there any label that you would want to get signed to? Do you not want to be signed to a label? What's your
So
opinion on
I have one thing I will say about me that I wish I was different is I am so much of an artist that I don't pay enough attention to the business side of things. I am deathly afraid of labels. I'm afraid of what I know, what I understand, which is probably not much. And personally, I would rather do it on my own any way possible. I'd rather build myself up on my own. Like right now, I just hit 33K on TikTok, and I'm trying to hit, I want to do it on my own because for me, my opinion of labels is that they just really try to take advantage of people. I've heard, I think, what label they're like, they allow artists to have that artistic expression. I don't remember what label it is. I don't know if it's Jay-Z's label, but they talk about certain labels that allow you to really have that artistic expression. But the idea of being controlled kind of really scares me. Because me, when I'm in a controlled setting, cut your hair, do this, grow it long, act like this, do this, and that, my artistic expression dwindles because I'm not able to be me. So I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I would have to read every little fine print and like have a lawyer. I don't know. I don't trust it. I don't trust it.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like more labels should be like the main thing with a label. Like if you're an artist and you're trying to sign an artist, like let him or her have creative control of their work. Like
Mm-hmm.
it can be so simple. Don't try to change them. But I get it. Like they have an image to uphold. They want to keep things
Mm-hmm. They
tight
know what
knit.
sells. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? They know
yeah,
what
too.
sells, but I am not willing to be a part of everything that sells. That's the problem. See, me, I will get on certain bandwagons, like, but there's certain things that I refuse to be represented as. I'm not going to be represented as certain things because I'm not going to be represented as something that I'm not. So I don't know. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go as far as I can without needing a label. Really, what I am looking for though, right now, is a publicist. That I do need, you know. But you do have control because you hire that person. That person doesn't hire you.
Hmm.
So that's something that I do. That's actually when I drop this album in Halloween, that's gonna be my next goal. Get a publicist.
Okay, okay. Well, that was one of my next questions. Like, do
Ah!
you have any upcoming projects that you are working on?
Yes, I do. Actually, more than just what I'm dropping right now. So I have my Halloween project. Um, it's called the album is called Bloom. It's about 12 to 13 songs. I may throw in a special song. I'm not sure. I'm still figuring out the specifics of it. I do have the body of music, but I'm thinking about adding a song or two. But that is dropping on Halloween. But then I have another 12 to 13 song album that I'm thinking about dropping about 3 to 6 months later, right after. And this is music that I've been working on that are literally in the vault waiting. They're like, pick me, pick me, pick me. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I have a lot. Actually, in total, I have about 26 songs ready to go. But because of how much goes into making an album, I'm cutting it into two.
Okay, okay. Yeah, like I mean, it's probably not on the level of you, but I seen like my friends just chilling in high school in the room on what is it called? Fruity Loops or something like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah,
It
FL
was Fruity
Studios. Yeah, yeah,
Loops,
yeah.
FL Studios, and they were just making beats and recording music, and I'm like, that's pretty cool that you could just get on YouTube and just self-teach yourself something like that.
It's crazy
So
because it's so different. There's no like vault keeping or gatekeeping, excuse me, as there was before.
gatekeeping.
Like everything was gate kept. You know what I mean? Like you got to know somebody to teach you to learn it. Or you need enough money to afford it. Now the knowledge is out there for everybody, which is a good thing and a
Mhm.
bad thing because now you got a lot of like not so great artists at the same time. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. And the reason why I say that is because I do feel that there are a lot of artists that don't deserve to be where they are. Hate me for saying that. I do feel that way. I feel like the music industry has changed in that sense. And I feel like this has happened a long time ago. It's not recent. It happened a while ago.
Mhm.
And it's because I think that knowledge is just so, it's free for anybody to get. So, which is a great thing because then you have artists who would have never had the opportunity, who are super talented and who have actually worked on their craft and deserve to create amazing freaking music. But then you also have like people who should probably just should put it down, not too slow. You get your both. You get both.
Listen, I know one artist that, well, two that definitely need to put it down. Sexy Red and Ice Spice. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. And
So
back then,
Ice Spice, I'm actually on the fence. Like, it's all right. I don't know who's writing for her, but she has a good tone. I like her tone, and that's not something that everybody got. She just needs to
Mhm.
really tighten it up. But think about this. So you can hate me or not. I'm from New York City, but Cardi's first few tracks, to me, she couldn't get on point. Like she was always off the beat. She was always off beat in the beginning. Now it's different, but because she practiced. But in the beginning, I don't think Cardi was that good.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Well, you
So,
see,
but
I'm from the Bronx, so like I'm a huge Cardi fan. In my mind,
I'm a
she
big
can't do
Cardi
no
fan
wrong.
now. I'm a big Cardi fan, but her first song, like she was off beat. Like you would hear it and like it was sloppy. Like her recording was sloppy. And actually it's because she actually I think she said in an interview once that somebody told her to get rid of the book and to just remember it so that you're not reading. Um
Mm.
but no, I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm telling you, she's amazing now. But in the beginning to me, I was like, she's off beat though. Like she's off beat. She was.
Okay, okay.
But that's just me. So I do think that like um Ice Spice I think she's going through a learning period, and I think she's going to hit that. I think she's going through a learning period. But the thing is, that's crazy though to me, is that before there's no learning period during your career. You're supposed to be good before you do that. At least those were the rules
Mm.
that I was taught. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah,
But I
yeah,
mean,
I
whatever,
understand that.
whatever. Yeah, it is what it is.
So, so if you could collab with anybody in the industry, currently or from the past, who would it be and why?
Mm. Currently, Ari Lennox. From the past, ooh, Nina Simone. Um, yeah, I think those are my two. Past Nina, current Ari Lennox. I think so. Mhm.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
And this is a big one. How do you handle criticism on your music?
Um, I'm not the best artist in the world. I'm not gonna sit here and act like that. You need to understand. I understand. I think other people should understand is that there's always room for growth. But if you are not open to criticism, how will you grow? You know what I mean?
Mm,
So me, I'm a type of person, but I can also see hate from from constructive criticism. I can differentiate the two. But I also don't get mad at hate either because honestly, that has nothing to do with me. Hate is somebody else's problem. Whoever's giving it is because there's something wrong with them. It has nothing to do with me. But constructive criticism, I'm all open for it. Be like, hey, I think you need a better producer, or hey, you need this. But also, I do understand that everybody has a different paradigm. For example, this producer that I've been working with since 2018, solid. I've had other people do my music. I don't like it. That's my guy. So one of the songs that I dropped in 2023, I had harmonies during the verses. In the choruses, I did not have harmonies. And when I sent him my stuff, all the stems, he changed everything around. I was like, no, the harmony. I want this to have harmonies. Why'd you cut the harmony out? He's like, oh, because harmony should really be during the chorus because that's when it hits. I said, this is my decision, and honestly, the song
mm,
hits. In Dear Sunflower, harmonies are during the verse, and the chorus doesn't have like. And so, like I said, like I accept constructive criticism, and I do know how to differentiate hate. But some constructive criticism also understand what we're talking about. This is art. So I do also understand that I do have the allowance to make decisions that might not be normal in the music world due to artistic choice. But I'm open for it, like 100%. Like
okay,
please
okay.
tell me, like tell me if it sounds like trash. I need to know. Like please tell me, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I heard that for those of you watching. Yeah, I heard that. Tell her her music is trash, but
Tell
Me
me if it's
personally,
trash.
I don't think it's trash. I don't think it's trash. But
Thank you.
um, shout out to author Nikki Nicole for showing support
Hello, Nikki
on
Nicole.
Facebook. On Facebook, she is also another podcaster. Shout out to Breaking the Silence podcast. Oh Lord.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
Um, but so how do you incorporate your personal experiences into your music?
Mm, honestly, that's all I really do. Um, all my music comes from an experience. I mean, I only know how to write about what I know. I'm never the type of person to write about gangbanging if I've never gangbanged. You feel me? Like, I'm not gonna wear a like wear somebody wearing a Beatles shirt but never listen to the Beatles. Like, I think that's ridiculous. Um, I don't follow fads. I don't follow trends. I only write about what I know. And if I don't know about it, I'm writing in question form. But I'm never gonna act like I know something I don't. So yeah, everything I write is my experiences.
Okay, okay, I like that. And it keeps you true to yourself. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't want to, and that's another thing. Like, I feel bad for artists who start a lie and then get tired of putting up the lie, and then next thing you know, be like, this artist is weird now. Oh no, their true self is coming out. You know what I mean? Like,
mhm,
just be you
mhm,
through and through. And I feel like another thing that I feel like whether I make it or not, I want it to be because I was myself, not for any other reason.
and that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly how it should be. That's how it
Mm-hmm.
should remain.
Mm-hmm.
Because staying true to yourself, like when I started podcasting, it was just me talking to myself. Like I
No
never had people
way.
watching and whatnot. It was just me talking to myself. I didn't even have a camera. I would literally go in the mirror and be like, "Hey, what's up, Tay? Oh, I'm doing good." It sounds crazy, but that's how it started. And
That's awesome. That's so
then I
smart
went on
though.
TikTok and I started going into people's lives and asking them if they wanted to be on the podcast. And
Yeah.
one of my favorite TikTokers of all time, they actually said yes. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Gotta
And
start
that's
somewhere. Have to have faith in yourself. Absolutely.
yeah. So that's why I say believing in yourself is very, very important. Very
Very,
important.
very important. Absolutely. Matter of fact, I'm the not believing in myself is the reason why I didn't start making music till 2018. I started singing years before that. But the thing
Mm,
is I didn't believe in myself. I had imposter syndrome, like heavy. I mean, heavy imposter syndrome, where I thought I couldn't sing. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not a baddie. You know what I mean? I'm not. I'm cute. You know what I mean? Like, I know my category now, but at the time I was like, I want to be like these bad itches out there. You know what I mean? I want to be, but I'm not. I have to be who I am. I'm a cute bohemian girl. Like, I can't be that sexy rapper. I have to find my niche. And until I find it, my niche, whatever. I had to find my niche and then be true to that. But that's why I didn't really take it seriously till for a long time.
mm,
Hmm.
I like that. I definitely do like that. So how do you balance your music career and everyday life?
Well, to me personally, there's no perfect balance. The moment I had a nine to five, I don't know if you know, but I quit my 9 to 5 about 5 6 months ago, and
Hmm,
I said if I really want this, I need to give it a real try. Fail or not, I need to give it a real try. Not like a half-ass try. Like, I'm gonna try when I'm off of work. I'm gonna try when I got the time. No, I quit my job and I was like, because I was trying to balance, but I wasn't hitting the mark. I wasn't hitting the mark on what I needed to do because I had work in the morning. I didn't have time to just drop into this show and pop up and do this, that, and the third. I had, so for me, Also, I'm a mother too. I'm a mother of three boys, but I do have a partner who's very helpful. Um, but at the same time, I could not apply myself the way I wanted to. So to me, if you're an artist and you want to give it that real shot before you hit a point where you just regret it and you give up, you need to understand that you're gonna have to teeter totter towards possible failure and just be an artist. You got to give it that real try because honestly, I mean, all power to those who find balance. I couldn't. I couldn't. To do the things that I'm doing now, I was not able to do it until I quit my job. There was no balance for me.
Hmm.
Yeah. I
Okay.
had to accept that I need to give it a real try in this life instead of always have a safety net. Oh, I got my job though, just in case. F just in case. You need to put faith in you and just do it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. And we have a little bit of a comment here from G. Bryant.
Thank you, G. Bryant. Thank you so much.
So, what is, have you ever collabed with like a celebrity before?
No, never. I want to though. Okay, so
Yeah.
one celebrity and it costs. Like you gotta pay. Like a lot of money. Unless you know
You
somebody
do?
who knows somebody. Yeah. Do you know a lot of celebrities charge for collaborations? And Nico, she charges I mean, this was a year or two ago. But I mean, smaller art. I mean, and Nico's big now, but like she's still not as big as some artists, but she's big now. But you gonna pay at least 15 grand for a collab. But it like you can collab with people. The possibilities there. What's that rapper? She's a lesbian rapper. She is like not as big as Nico though. She's a little. I don't even know what's her name. But she was charging like 10 grand. But yeah, no, you can. You just have to have the money. They do it. You need the money.
Is it Young MA?
No, not Young MA. But I know she was at one point she was charging too. Let me see if I can find her. I don't remember her name, but I remember when she was posting a lot and she actually made a post about it. And I contacted her and I guess her publicist or somebody hit me back up and they told me the price. But then I was like, does that artist really represent who I want to be represented by or like to be, you know? Then I decided against it. If I'm gonna drop that
Hmm.
kind of money, I want it to be someone who's in the same niche as me. You know what I mean? So she was more like
Okay.
gang, you know, and she's dope though. Her music's popping. Don't get me wrong, but I don't make like hood music. I just don't.
Okay. Okay. So that's something I just learned. I didn't know that artists
Mhm.
had to pay other artists to do a collaboration. I thought it was just like your
If you get
publicist talks to
lucky,
their publicist and
no. They pay they charge for it. You gotta look it up. Like sometimes you'll find it on the artist's website. Um Sometimes they'll make a random post about it, but artists do charge. Not big ones. I'm not talking about like no Beyonce, not like John Legend, but people who are like on the rise but have a hefty following. Yes, you can. You could definitely if you can afford it.
hmm, okay, okay.
Mhm.
That's very interesting.
Like someone I would
So
love to collab with is Snow the Product. Have you ever heard
I've
of
heard
Snow
of
the
her.
Product? I would love to collab with her. I don't know if she charges because she's big, but she's not as big as some. You know what I mean? She's like big, but a lot of
Hmm.
people. I know a lot of people who don't even know who she is. So you know,
Hmm.
because there's different levels to celebrity. I bet she charges. I probably like 25, maybe
Probably.
15, 25. Yeah, and I would love actually with Snow the Product. I would definitely love to do a collab with her. She's fly. Like I love her style of rap. What she said. She's dope. She's dope.
I think she did a song with one of my favorite female artists. Not many people know about her, but Honey Cocaine.
Oh, I gotta look that up. Let me see. I want to know. I
Yeah.
want to know. I want to know. Let me
Like
see. Hold on, give me a
A
second.
lot,
Honey,
a lot of people don't know who she is.
Tony Cocaine. I don't know who she is. Hey, but you put me
Yeah.
on. Queen Honey C. I can see. Oh hell yeah, that's definitely. I'm watching. There's like a little video part. That's definitely Snow the Products vibe right there. Yeah,
Yeah. See.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a Canadian rapper. That's lit. That's really cool. See, me, I could rap in Spanish. I could do some ratchet shit. So nah, yeah. I actually have a couple songs coming out that's gonna be really dope. I'm really excited. Oh, I'm tapping into my other side, you know. But
Yeah, and that's what I like about artists, the versatility. Like I
mhm.
like versatility of artists. Like you're not just stuck in R&B and hip hop.
Yeah.
Like I like to see artists go from like, oh, you did R&B for like a couple of years, like boom, now I'm doing a country album.
Yeah, I love that. I
Like,
love that. Yeah. I
like,
mean that when that's an artist. That's like a true artist. Because what an artist is somebody who creates. So if you like, I don't want to paint anymore. I think I want to sculpt. Why the F not? You are a creative individual. So dive into other things. Absolutely. I
mhm,
agree 100%. Actually, my album, with being a neo soul album, is kind of a new thing for me.
oh,
Something that I fell into. You know, I wasn't doing neo soul music. So matter of fact, if you go to so I rebranded myself. If you look, my old name used to be Hashi Soul, and this was years ago. Now, if you look up Hashi Soul, you're gonna find a whole different me. I mean, poppy stuff. I wrote it all. It's all mine, but it's a very different person. Now you look me up and you find this really like earthy, loving,
yeah,
emotional person. Yeah. And then the next
okay.
stuff I'm gonna drop, which is gonna be under Hashigata. I don't use that old name anymore, but I'm still very proud of what I created under that artist name. I'm gonna drop a lot of rap, a lot of hip hop very soon.
Mm,
I got stuff to say. Ooh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
that's something. Because like, so
Mhm.
you're going from neo soul to like earthy, mellow
Mhm.
to
Hip hop,
um
rap.
hip
Mhm.
hop.
Mhm.
So that's
Mhm. Well,
that's
I do have
um
one song. I don't know if you've heard "Supply and Demand."
supply and demand. No, I haven't, but
That's me
I'm about
rapping.
to
You can find
download.
it. You can find it. It's on Spotify. It's on everything. Supply and Demand by Hashigata. Look up that song. That's me. I wrote that in 20. When did I write that? 2015, 16, 2017? 2017 or 2018. And yeah. Listen to it. Listen, let me know what you think.
I'm definitely gonna listen to it. I'm definitely gonna download whatever I can find on you on Apple Music. But on the topic of music, like how did growing up in Brooklyn affect you when it came to your music?
Well, first off, growing up in Brooklyn was wild. I mean, being a city kid in general is wild. Number one, that I don't think that people understand. So when you're in, at least in New York City, I don't know about other cities, Chicago, but we don't have things like varsity and teams and team spirit and like that
Hmm.
school spirit stuff. Like we got art class, the train. You know what I mean? Like, so growing up in the city makes you a different person because you don't have we all got like teen angst. We're all coming of age and finding our sexualities and da 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 da. But we don't have places to put it like in suburban schools where have programs, all this stuff for kids. So we just in the streets. So we go through a lot of things that might be unnecessary, but because we have nowhere else to put it. Like, what are we gonna do? We're kids. We want to just chill. Like, I grew up like going to Prospect Park with a bunch of my friends, skipping school, and there used to be this bum that we used to call Shorty, and we used to give him the money for a pack of cigarettes and a couple six packs. And he used to go to the store, and I used to give him some cigarettes and a beer. And then we used to go to the store, go to the park, go behind the waterfall in Prospect Park. And if you're from Brooklyn, you know which one I'm talking about, the one by the baseball field. So you have to climb over the gate and chill. Like that's what we used to do for fun. And we listened to a lot of hip hop, a lot of old school hip hop. Like that was our thing. You know, everybody was trying to battle rap. You know, so we're heavily as a New York City kid, we're heavily in like um um what's the word? Um introduced, affected, I don't even know what word I'm trying to use, but by hip hop,
Influence.
influenced by hip hop. You know, so a lot of music I listened to was a lot of old school hip hop, a lot of soul music and like things like that. So I think also that changed how I sing a lot. I have this natural, and it's not something I worked for. It's just kind of how like I swayed. I learned to sing a very soulful way because that's who I love to sing like. And so now when I sing, it's automatic. Like that's just it just comes natural to me. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Growing up in New York, and I just thought of another artist that you might just like that you can look up. Her name is Elsie the Poet.
Elsie the poet. I'm gonna look it up.
Like like the letter L, the letter C, the poet.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna look it up right now. Elsie the poet. All right.
Hmm, hmm.
All right, I'm gonna look her up. I'm gonna listen to her stuff. I'm gonna listen to her stuff.
But growing up in New York, like I feel like honestly, I guess I'm biased, but growing up in New York was like that's one of the best places that you can grow up in. I don't care because
You're like, I don't care.
you have everything. Like you got the trains, the buses, you can walk down to the store and it's just right there, and then there might be another store right across the street from there.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
if you're
growing up in New
lucky,
York gives you a lot of independence very young, which could
that
be a
too.
good thing or a bad thing. So me, I had a
Yeah,
lot of independence, but very young, and it made me kind of grow up a little fast. Like I was hanging out with people I probably shouldn't have been hanging out with. So
true.
I'm actually I'm a mom. I teeter totter on whether growing up in New York was good or not because I remember watching Degrassi as a little kid and being like, damn, like I want a team. I want to be a cheerleader. Like I want to do stuff like that. I want to have friends that we do stuff like this, team spirit, SWAT team, SWAT meets, or whatever the hell. I wanted
Hmm.
that stuff. And I feel like those are actually a really cool part about growing up outside of New York because it teaches you a sense of bond and team for like your community that New York doesn't return you into. Like we're like every man for themselves. It's like I don't go. I'll walk over a dead body. I can't be late to work. You know, you
Yeah,
stop arguing. Get off the train. I gotta go. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
stop holding. Don't
definitely,
hold me.
definitely,
So I feel
definitely.
like you know what I mean. Like you've been there. You know where it'd be like these people arguing on the train. Now the cops are coming. You like, damn, I'm gonna be late for work. Y'all need to take it somewhere else. So we
Like,
don't have
listen,
that sense of community. Whereas I think in suburban places where kids grow up, they have these long lasting, beautiful, experiences that have a sense of community. So I actually, I'm a little teeter totter.
it's funny that you say that because I didn't find that experience until I joined the army. I was in the military for 11 years. I didn't find that experience like that brotherhood, that
Camaraderie, yeah,
camaraderie, yeah,
it's
like,
so
and then,
important, and we don't got that in New York.
hmm,
We do not have
hmm,
that at all, and I feel like that's important to teach. If not, I feel as so many New Yorkers I know. Do you know that New Yorkers are lonely people? They lonely.
wow.
Like they're lonely people. Like I know so many New Yorkers who like so many New Yorkers in a city with so many people complain about being lonely because you never learn how to be part of your community properly. You know the people that be like setting up food drives and part of the community and this and the third that be in New York are not from New York City. They're be from other places because they bring that state of mind to New York City. Because naturally
Mm.
we don't at least not from my experiences. Because I'm sure there are, people, but I feel like as a whole, generally speaking, we don't have that sense of camaraderie, and it sucks.
Well, that's another thing that you said, like those community events, food drives. I'm very big on that stuff. Like I actually have my own nonprofit organization called the
Nice.
Galaxy Girls, and we teach our girls just that, like be a community. Like we do bake sales, we do feed the community events. We'll all cook in the house, get trays, and just hand
That's
food out.
beautiful. Yeah. See,
And
that's so important.
we do it right there in Brooklyn, East New York. We do it over there. So,
That's beautiful.
and it's it's important, especially with children, to teach them that it's okay to build that kind of community.
Hmm.
Like be
I
careful who
wasn't
you
taught
hang
that.
out with. So,
I wasn't taught
and
that.
neither was
So
I. But
I was taught you get yours because nobody's gonna get it for you.
mm,
That's how I was taught. And I'm not, and my children, I don't teach. I'm like, my son actually tomorrow has a speech. And I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, guys. I'm not in New York City anymore. I moved here about a year and a half ago. Um, he's about to start a speech to be part of school council. So he's in elementary and they got houses like in Hogwarts. So
mm,
he's part of the revere house. There's I don't remember all the names, but they houses and they have colors and they have SWAT meet or whatever they're called. And he's actually going for lieutenant of his house. And they're not by grade. So his house is the Blue House Revere, and it'll have like fourth graders, third graders, fifth graders, first graders, all in. It's like random pick, like the Hogwarts hat. And he's going to be a lieutenant, and he's also gonna. We just designed a mascot head, and he's gonna be a mascot. And there's
mhm,
no mascot for anybody. So it was his idea. He was like, "I want to be a mascot. I want to be a mascot." And in New York City, they would have never had that houses, that feeling. They use it maybe in high school, but definitely not in no elementary school. I think that's the coolest thing. For Halloween at my son's school, they closed down the street, the school, and they had like blow ups. They had a DJ. I mean, a whole community thing, like 300 people. It was. I was like, wow, this is so cool.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
is, and it's sad because it's like outside of New York, they do all those things.
Yes,
So
it's normal to do those things outside of New York. And
yeah.
that's another reason why. So yeah, I have amazing New York memories. I mean memories that no other place can create. I have a song called Brooklyn Girl actually dropping on this album. And it talks
Okay.
about my Brooklyn memories. Riding the train in the middle of the night with your friends, being acting amok, running through the train tracks, train coming, jump up, scared, things no other place can give you. But at the same time, even thinking of all those things, I would still rather my son here because there are so many lessons that I didn't get to learn because of where I was.
Okay. 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 So we're gonna go to what I call the final thought, where I ask the last few questions, and
Okay.
then I ask you a question personally from me. And so my last question, well, not one of my last questions is, can you share any advice to musicians who have had um a hard time handling the rejection? Like what they're just not getting anywhere with their music or they just feel stagnant or something like that.
My advice to musicians feeling that I am not, that is not a foreign feeling to even me. When you hit that point and you're like, why am I doing this? That's the question you need to remind yourself. Why are you making music? Are you doing it because you want to be famous, or are you doing it because it's your calling? If it's your passion, it won't matter where you go. But if it's because you want to be famous, yeah, you're gonna lose traction. You're gonna get tired because you want to see, you want quick results. But if you're doing it because it's your passion, continue to do it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who sees, why, who, what, where, when. Walk up to every stage, every performance place like you are the hottest shit there, no matter what. Because at the end of the day, you're doing it because you are passionate. And that's all you need if that's why you're doing it.
Okay, I appreciate that. I like that. And passion is key. Passion is key with anything that you do.
Hmm.
Like if you want to take garbage out for the rest of your life and you want to do it with style, do that.
Do it. What? Ride in the
Like
back of
do
that
it.
truck, like, what's up, T? What's up, world? Just do it. Do it with passion.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter what it is. Do it with passion. And if you're really passionate about it, you'll be happy. And that's all that matters in this world, in this life. It's not about success, who knows you. It's about happiness. That's it.
Definitely. Definitely. So can you talk about any specific musical collaborations or projects that you have in the works and what fans can expect from them?
Collaborations, not so much. I don't really have. Well, I have one person who I may collab with. I'm not gonna drop a name, but I don't work on collabs as much only because how I say this without sounding like an a hole. A lot of people who want to collab with me, we don't mesh. Like they be like, "Yo, I want to jump on this track," and they're a cool person, but the song, I'll be like, "That's not what I want to represent me." So I say no to a lot. I turn a lot of stuff down because either, you know, your mastering quality isn't what I want to be on, or you need to master your delivery better on track, or even their workflow needs more work. Like you need to be a little bit more disciplined. Like we can't work on a song for 7 months. Like no, we're not doing it. So I don't
Okay.
have a lot of collaboration. But as far as my music, um, what I have is I'm dropping my 2 albums this year. I am throwing my first show run by me, listening party and huge show by me. That's happening within the next 4 months after I drop this album. Not only that, now I'm going to be traveling out of state, and so I want first stop is LA. I want to get to Tennessee. I want to get to New Orleans, um, and I'm going to be traveling, and I want to put together my first tour as soon as this album drops.
I like that. I like that.
Hmm.
And so when you say tour, you mean like you're gonna sell tickets and everything like that?
Yes, absolutely, and that's another
Yeah.
reason why I'm building my TikTok because I mean I I'm building my TikTok and I'm on and I'm being, consistent and I'm meeting people and people who are becoming people who actually want to see me and they ask me, "When are you coming? I'll buy a ticket." And the only way I get to know these people and create these relationships is by going on TikTok live and able to connect, you know? And now that I'm
Yeah.
building that fan base, now when I go to that city, I got people expecting me, not just going out and being like, "Hey, I'm here." No, I'm trying to create I am creating, not trying. I'm creating a fan base so that when I go to that city, I got at least 20 people who've been waiting for me. So
Exactly.
that's what I'm
And
working on right now. And that's the
that
beauty about social media. You can do that without having a label. You just got to put in the work.
and I mean that's how we met. So now you're on the podcast. So
Ooh, ooh.
yeah, that's definitely how that happens. And
Hmm.
you're right, like social media, it brings people together
Hmm.
and especially TikTok. Like for me, that's how I met my co-host. I actually interviewed my co-host was my very first person that I ever did a video interview with.
No
And
way. That's beautiful.
yeah, and she's also the same person that I talked about when I interviewed my favorite TikToker.
Hmm.
So yeah, she's also the same person.
That's freaking dope. That's dope. That's dope.
So now here we are about 4 years later, best friends. So
That's beautiful.
Tik
Yeah.
TikTok brings people together. It
It
definitely brings
does.
people
And let me
together.
tell you something. I performed somewhere recently. Okay, not that recent. It was like 3 months ago. And I was there and I was like, they were like, "Oh, how can we find you?" I was like, Instagram and TikTok, same name. And somebody was like, people still on TikTok? I'm like, what are you trying to say? You know how many people I connect with on TikTok? He was like, people still on that? I'm like, yeah, I like it better than Instagram. Like, I love Instagram, don't get me wrong. But like, TikTok is more of a vulnerable place for me. You know, it's just a wider span of vulnerability. Whereas on TikTok, on Instagram, it's like everybody is trying to be somebody. You know what I mean? TikTok is like just more community like, for me at least, my experience. And I'm able to connect with people a lot more on TikTok, a lot more. So it's a it's a great it's a great tool for me. TikTok, I love TikTok. I meet such great people through there.
Okay, okay. So my final question for you is, can you give the people a little taste of what is to come?
Okay. Give me a second. Yes, I can. I got you right now. This is a song I'm actually working on right as we speak. Oh wait, what do I want to do? All right, hold on. So, the reason why this album is called Bloom, is because as a how do I explain it? I'm learning myself as a person, but not only as a person, but as a woman, and I'm also learning to um, accept different parts of me that maybe I wasn't able to find a home in within myself. And so I'm also creating music that is more in tune with my sexuality, with being a woman, with what love is, how I accept love. So I'm able to dive into different parts of myself that maybe I wasn't able to do before. And that's why it's called Bloom, because it's about the idea of grasping change and changing. So this is a song that I can show you right now. Okay. I was coughing before, so hopefully I don't choke. I don't know. I feel like I got dry. I hope your mama taught you how to swim. I hope your mama taught you how to swim. Cause I'm gonna drown us in this bed. The way you give me head. Toes curling down. I'm walking on steel legs. Waterfall between my thighs. You sipping on this prize. Bed where the waves crash and they rise. I don't know what you did to me. Stay right here and don't you leave. Cause I'm addicted indefinitely. That song is called Swim. It's gonna, you gotta hear the beat. It's gonna, I'm so excited. It's gonna be,
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I'm excited for
you're
that
gonna
one.
love
I'm
it. I
definitely excited.
promise. You're gonna love it.
Listen, I'm looking for a reason to add something to my playlist. Trust me.
Hey, well, I got some tracks for you.
So thank you, Hashigata, once again
Thank you.
for being on this podcast and taking the time out just to hang out with me. It's just a
Vibe.
regular conversation. And I got to know a lot more about you, things I didn't know. And yeah, it's a wonderful thing. So, do you have any final words you want to tell the people watching?
Thank you for watching. Thank you for having me here. Legit, it's an honor. And I hope that you can rock with me on this journey because a lot is coming and I'm not stopping anytime soon. So come along. Let's go. Hold on. I'll hold your hand.
Definitely, definitely. So, guys, we are definitely going to keep following her. We're going to bring her back on the show at a later date, and we're definitely going to keep in touch. So,
Wonderful.
once again, guys, stay safe, stay humble, wash your grits. That's what Pooh says, because, COVID is definitely still a thing. And stay safe, y'all. Have a great
Stay
night.
safe.